there's ever been a more proper time to use the word traitor and treason, this is probably it. But a cohort of nearly 2 dozen former generals, military leaders, including and up to the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and people who are basically just, one or two rungs below him, established a secret back channel with basically the foremost PRC spy front that exists within the United States, not just to get documents, to steal information, to do IP theft, except it's not theft when you have people like this giving it to them, but also the tip of the spear of the sort of propaganda information campaign. That's, of course, the United Front Work Department. That's these pay-for-play China trips that I've been exposing. But this is the fusion of that apparatus with straight up the political warfare department of the PLA, flying these generals over to China to participate in these dialogues where they make them feel super special. And what they are hoping for is to basically curate and cultivate these people on their dime. I'll be blunt, to give them access to information that they want so they can better understand United States military plans. It's no coincidence that most of these people are coming from the exact theater of war that the Chinese Communist Party is most interested in, right? That's what would go down in the South China Sea. I also think, Steve, the key point here to emphasize for what I'm sure the defense would be from these total losers is that, oh, it's, cultural exchange. Well, then I would say, you know what, Steve, we have a serious problem in our military if these people, after decades of going up against the Chinese Communist Party, think that their political warfare department is something that you can just engage with amicably and like friends. Then maybe I understand why we're in such a poor footing against the Chinese Communist Party. But just to set the stage, we can read the names after the break. On one side of the table, you have the most elite, expert PRC spies, people seeking and historically have turned Americans to sell them documents, to give them classified information, like out of a spy movie, take your pick. And on the American side of the table, you have a bunch of former people who used to feel important because they used to have high-ranking titles and the taxpayer dollar and trust, basically showing up. Like I said, I would compare them to prostitutes, saying, just tell me what the price is and I'll give you what you want, whether that's documents. And honestly, Steve, it's an affront to begin with. You don't sit down with the Chinese Communist Party, let alone their political warfare department.